It is showtime, folks. Hey, welcome back to my 6K sub streams. Did I say 6,000K? 6K. Does it say 6,000K? 6,000. I'll change it. Sorry. Hey, but anyway, welcome. 6,000 is what it is, not 6 million. Sorry. But I have a special one today. Folks, when I first started doing my Defending the EU videos a long time ago, I was looking around for anyone who was talking about the EU, with me. And I found this kid's channel. He was somewhere in, I want to say West Texas or something. And he was talking about this and that expanded universe. And he was making some good points like, oh, hey, yeah, I know how this guy feels. I'm feeling the same way. And then he goes, oh, yeah, and Matt Wilkins. You need to subscribe to that guy. He's got some great stuff. I was going, how's he know my name? I remember I showed it to my wife and I said, look. And she went, how does he know who you are? I said, I don't know. Because back then I only had just a handful of subs. I mean, 35, 40 maybe. And I was like, I don't know who would sub, And then I started hearing more and more people get in touch with me. When I had about 100 or so, it opened up to a few more people. And these people got together and they started doing a podcast. And so they invited me on to the first one, which then became a regular thing. So folks, if you remember the Minox nest, here we go. I'm going to introduce Tristan.
Hello.
And whoa, you're echoing there. And Daniel, how's it going?
Swimmingly.
So, if you don't know what the Minox nest is, don't Google it. All right. So
Tristan's taking most of it down anyway.
Oh, okay, good. Good.
Yeah, I've said a lot of things.
All right, so we're going to do, by the way, the Minox nest has the infamous story, because Tristan, Daniel, and Tim, I think, was there too, when I went off on Dave Filoni. And it was about and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, it was after we'd done the podcast, and it was a 20-minute rant. And Tristan, you said you wish you had recorded it.
Oh yeah.
I honestly, for the life of, because I was the video had come out about him going, yeah, I love Timothy Thon. Heir to the Empire trilogy was so good. And that's all he could say about the EU. And
hey Matt, don't think I didn't hear you on your show talking about those new covers.
Oh yeah, for real. But I went off. I mean, I was so furious when that video dropped that I went off, and it was literally a 20-minute rant on Filoni that is lost in time because Tristan did not. We didn't know when you would end the recording, but he ended the recording like, no, I didn't get that. And I was like, I can't do it again. But the thing is, though, I can't remember what I said, but I mean, I was rolling on some Filoni. So let's do this old school, gentlemen. Daniel, if you please, do the introductions.
This world is not as it should be. It's filled with distortion and ruin, can no longer be avoided. Those who oppose fate and desire change, from time to time, they were referred to as tricksters. You are the trickster. Now is the time to rise against the abyss of distortion. Welcome to the Minox nest.
Classic.
Yay! Thank you for doing that. Hey guys, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, it's been a couple years, so I think there's actually quite a bit to talk about.
It has. And by the way, there's one member we didn't get on here that I did try to reach out to.
Josie or Tim?
It was Tim. I'll take Josie too. Josie was great. And then James. Remember James used to come on everyone. Didn't James come on a few times?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Josie was more regular than James. And then Tim was always there. So we did have a few extras we couldn't get a hold of. But either way, I got some good ones here. And folks, it has been about 4 years. And we were talking about then, I don't think, if it was 4 years ago, had Last Jedi come out?
Last
don't think so.
time we did a show together, The Mandalorian had been airing.
Was it?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because I wasn't there for that. Oh no, he's talking about Tristan. He's talking about the reunion show.
Oh yeah, you weren't there, Matt.
I wasn't there for the reunion show.
Yeah, you had the twins to take care of.
Yeah, that was a busy time. I tried to make it, but it wasn't happening. But so I haven't talked to these fellas in a while, and we haven't talked about this. Is fresh, so I don't know what they're going to tell me. So, gentlemen, what are your thoughts about the new canon? Have they changed? Have they stayed the same? Are you so? Tristan, we'll start with you.
So I noticed for a while there, I mean, nobody really liked the movies, right? And then from there, it kind of seemed like what really Star Wars was hanging on by, like a thread, was it was the games and the TV shows, which would really determine the fate of Star Wars. So if those weren't good, I think Star Wars was probably going to maybe go away for a while, because just nobody was really interested. The movie burnout, because it's not like people say, well, the Marvel movies are coming out. Well, they are, but Marvel's never had a consistent universe like Star Wars has. You know what I mean? So it's common for them to just reboot, retell, or whatever, make up new stories.
And as we all know, Star Wars just doesn't have Marvel's rich library of source material.
Yeah,
according to Kathleen Kennedy, who said that at one time, she did a complete 180 on that comment. And I just want to say that she did have a billboard sitting near her work spot for about 6 months, for a little over 6 months, asking for more expanded universe. And then I noticed after that billboard, she changed her tune. She said, "Oh, you need this gate key." It was one of those quick reversals. But how do you like that? Yeah, we just don't have the source material. In fact, she was sitting there with George Lucas when he was passing the torch to her, saying, "I'm giving her everything. It has tons of books, all the novels, all the comic books. She can use that story if she wants." And she's sitting there going, Hey, speaking of Kathleen Kennedy, everyone keeps asking me, do you think, I think her contract's up this year. Is that correct? I could be wrong, and someone in the comments can correct me too.
I'm not really tracking that as much. I know Bob Iger wanted to step down from CEO to actually be getting involved in the creative processes. But as far as Kathleen Kennedy, I'm not too sure what her status was. I thought she was supposed to pass it off like a while ago, though.
Well, Bob Iger wanted to step down because he, like a bunch of other CEOs, saw the pandemic coming from China and knew it was going to impact revenue. And so they went ahead and retired there where their shares were high, where the golden parachute was bigger. The CEO of Google also abandoned. A lot of CEOs jumped ship to cash out while the money was big. And Bob Iger was one of those guys. Now, you can say, well, man, that's a dirty thing. They didn't stick with their company through thick and thin. Yeah, but you're talking billions of dollars here. I don't know, hundreds of millions of dollars. Would you do the same? With Bob Iger, let me talk about Bob Iger for a minute, because I did some videos and I think it went under the radar. I read his autobiography. Have any of y'all, I don't think you have, but have y'all read it?
I have not.
It's interesting because you love or hate Bob Iger, he's obviously someone who's good at making deals. I mean, he sweet talked George Lucas out of Star Wars, which George regrets now. Hey, let me ask you this. Does George sell the company today, now that knowing what he knows?
Absolutely.
I don't think he does.
Absolutely not. He has just short of basically disown the movie, the new stuff.
He has a non-disclosure. He can't talk bad about it. He has a disclosure, which they reminded him about. He got reminded about that. Yeah.
Whenever you see videos of him, it's like you know he wants to say something.
He wants to say, yeah, but the thing, he can't now. Now, the thing is, though, he does have seller's remorse. He does have seller's remorse. However, I think it is interesting that it was Bob Iger's smooth tongue that coaxed him into it. Bob Iger was the person who talked to Rupert Murdoch about getting all the Fox stuff underneath him. I mean, Bob Iger has made some sweet deals. So if you meet him, I bet he's the nicest person in the world. I bet he could sweet talk you forever and get what he wants. Because I don't know if a lot of these people would keep giving Disney that much. It's almost like they have a monopoly in entertainment.
It almost is. It's kind of crazy too, because they were interfering like with other things I was interested in. Like I know they wanted to change the story of a TV show, Sons of Anarchy sequel, Mayans MC. They interfered with the story of that, and then we all know about Star Wars. And
Tristan, let me tell you, the biggest Disney stans these days are the people who would otherwise have been railing against monopolies.
Yeah, that's the irony.
Tristan, about Mayans. I watch Mayans. I have noticed a tonal shift. I noticed it just on this episode, the newest episode. We can talk about this later, but is Disney involved with trying to change some things? Because I've noticed.
They are.
Because if you watch Mayans, right, Tristan?
I've only watched like the first half as of yet.
Okay. It's pretty good. It's getting better in my opinion. But there was a 180 on a storyline. I was like, why did they do that? That's weird. Now I'm thinking about it.
Huge diversion from Kurt Sutter's original vision. But hey, did you hear about the little controversy with him? They kicked him off.
Oh, did they? No, I didn't.
Yeah, because he wasn't really hands-on in it because, it's about like Latino culture. So he wanted them to do it, but he was kind of like supervising it.
Yeah.
Then, they had some sort of disagreement. I don't think it was really explained, but yeah, they kicked him off.
Because I noticed a tonal shift this season. I'm like, what's changed? Because something has changed. It's a little off. That's a shame.
I agree.
But I don't think George sells again. But the thing is, though, you love him or hate him, Bob Iger can sweet talk people out of stuff. I mean, he's talking about the only person getting beside Steve Jobs from Apple and getting him to work with him. I mean, so the man can wheel and deal. He's pretty much, seems to be a good guy who can get, basically build that relationship and take what he wants. Now he's not there. He's kind of as an advisory role because, he stepped down so he could keep all his hundreds of millions of dollars, but he doesn't want to lose some of that power. So he's kind of like the smoking man in X-Files. He kind of sits in the corner of the room, quietly smoking his cigarette and giving commands on the board in the back. I bet. Bob Chapek, I can't remember his name, is CEO now. And now the company's just trying to make, make as much money as they can. That's why Disney World, it's funny because Disney's like, we believe in this, we believe in this, we believe in this. But when it comes to money, they don't believe in any of that. They believe in where the money is. Everyone makes a big comparison about, well, if they hate all this, then how come they keep, bowing down to China?
Honestly, I don't think it just boils down to money. Otherwise, they wouldn't have treated Gina Carano like they did.
Well, no, here's the thing. Gina Carano, they could have let go of. They could let go of her. Now, you can say, well, they're missing millions of dollars. No, it wasn't millions. It wasn't millions. They've added a ton of characters. They're not going to take her back in. She's not going to get her spinoff. So as before, she was diversified as a character, like split off into other shows. In their opinion, I bet the collateral damage wasn't big enough. But you talk about making sure China goes to your movies. You make sure that at the same time, they're going to film Black Panther 2 in Georgia. I thought we were supposed to be boycotting Georgia, but no, they're going to film it there because they know that's how they can save the most money. They're going to, what was the other thing I saw them do for money? They'll do it for money. They're loosening up the rules at Disney World at record pace. All of a sudden, it's okay to drop your mask for pictures now and other things. All of a sudden their capacity levels have risen.
Oh, we got the vaccine.
Yeah, well, they need to make money. They need to make money. And to be honest, they're bleeding money everywhere. So they got to save where they can, and they got to build up their resources again because they're hurting. So they'll do anything for money. Now, again, I understand what it's like for a business to survive. There's a small business in our town. He closed down for a little while. And then when he was about to lose his business, he said, screw this. And he opened up 100% here with no mask. If you go in and you want the waitress to wear a mask, she will. But other than that, they're going to go without mask, and they're 100% open. And our state is not 100% open, and we still have a mask mandate. But he says, I have to pay. I have to keep all these people employed. I can't do that if I've limited my seating and I've limited my time and all this other stuff. He said, so screw that. So he's just open 100%. And he has been for months now. Well into 8 months or so, whatever. He quit a long time ago. But it's, like everyone's very polite there. They're very polite. In the bathroom, there's a picture of our governor in the toilet. You can pee on him. I thought that was funny. I seriously, I did not. It caught me off guard. I said, what is that in the toilet? I went, oh, it was a picture of him. I peed all over his face. Now, I'll be honest. I'm a grown man, and I was sitting there laughing in the men's room. I thought that was so funny that he's so mad because the governor's, he's ruining businesses here in town. And I get it, but I was like, that is so funny to do that. And I could not stop laughing. Now, when a grown man's laughing in the bathroom, a good point is to turn around and walk back out. If you see someone, you hear someone in the stall and they're going, I'd be like, nope, I'll hold it. And I'd walk back out. But I could not stop laughing. I just thought that was so funny. And I understand him. Yeah. By the way, everyone's telling me about the new story. Yeah, we reported on that a few days ago when it came out on the expandinguniverse.com, and I have read it. It's a short story, but yes. So yeah, expandinguniverse.com. The day it came out, boom, we were there with an article.
Excellent.
So Old Republic is still. What?
Oh, hey, what's up?
Huh?
Someone knows you.
They miss.
He followed the Minox.
Oh, nice.
JT Lovecraft has this question. So I'm a Dark Horse stuff. EU. You went over the Clone Wars secret missions 1 through 4. Secret missions are in book form. The Ryder Wenham secret missions, they're young adult books. Are they comic style or text? They're text. Yeah, but I like them. In fact, JT, in one of the reviews, Ryder Wenham himself comments on it. That was the first time I started talking to him. I talk to him now. He's a really fun guy. I can't remember which one it was. It was Duel at Shattered Rock. I made fun of I said the book was awesome, but the title sucks. And I said, he probably didn't put that title in. The editor did. And then he commented, he's like, actually, that's my title. I like it. I was like, oh. Good thing I didn't say I hated the book, right? But that was kind of fun.
I wish my camera was working so I could show you the sad state of my bookshelves that I got from the lobby.
Oh, no. How's by the way, we always used to ask, what are we reading? Are y'all reading any EU right now?
Lately I'm really been reading more war books. I haven't read EU since I read a little bit on the ship. But that was like back in October, August timeframe. Right now I'm reading more about it was a CIA guy in like the Middle East. That's what Robert Ames. Robert Ames.
I sadly haven't had much opportunity. I've been meaning to. There's been some stuff going on. I've been meaning to read. Not really EU or anything, but it's a prequel to Dracula.
Oh wow. Yeah, I've been reading a bunch of other stuff in my bookshelf too. It's kind of funny when new EU stopped coming out. we all went somewhere else. I should also mention, I didn't mention this, but even though Tristan was the first person to mention me on YouTube, Daniel's actually the first person to actually meet me. We met up in Dragon Con.
Dragon Con. That was awesome.
When I was on the panel to speak, and it was a collector's panel, and I got invited to do it again at Celebration that year.
Yeah, I remember I went to the panel and you were like, "Hey, take a seat right up here."
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun being on. My wife took a lot of pictures. I talked about the EU and everything like that, and it was a fun time. And then the next year at Dragon Con, I got another invite from the group, Dragon Con group, to come back. And back then, I wasn't doing cons back to back. I was going every other year. Like we had a bunch of other ones. Me and the missus would go to cons all the time. And whatever cons we went to that year, we very rarely went back again a second year. We would go the next year after that, but we were just trying to hit different cons. And some cons hit really close together. And so instead of being gone every weekend, we'd go this one this year and then the other one next year and then back and forth. So because it was the other year, but I'll tell you, I went back, I think the year after that. No, I don't think I did go back after that. That was the year. Daniel, was it crowded that year? I mean, like, ungodly crowded.
Saturday was the worst. In the Marriott, everyone photo shoots in the Marriott, and it was just, you could not move, period.
Oh, yeah, it was awful. It was awful. And I remember just thinking, never, see, because we've been before, I think, and it was fun. But this time it was like, I mean, I was sardined going through people. I was like, this is awful. I turned to my wife and said, I don't want to do this anymore. Now, my wife had a great time. She wanted to go back, but I was like, screw this. So even though I did have fun, I told those guys no. But then I got invited to Celebration, which would never happen again. I said, that's a lie. That's a lie. I did get an invite from a group to come to Celebration next year, which I'm thinking about. But anyway,
I'm remembering one of the guys who asked, like, so when are we getting new Legends books? And they're all like, oh, no, we've got some other new canon stuff. And he's like, oh, yeah, but that's for little kids.
Yeah. We had some fun times. That was a fun conference, too. I also got to talk to, that may have been the first time I saw Dave Wolverton, because his real name is Dave Farland. And so they said they had Dave Farland as a guest. And I looked at my wife and went, I don't know who Dave Farland is. I said, but he looks like Dave Wolverton. And I'm thinking, is that the same person? And so I just went up to him and said, excuse me, are you Dave Wolverton? He went, that was my pen name, but David Farland. Yes, that's me. And I was like, no. And I remember telling Daniel, I said, I should have brought Courtship of Princess Leia. I was so upset.
God.
I was so upset because I brought some books for everyone to sign, and I would love to have his. Now, later on, I did see him and got his autograph. But if someone has a question here, we'll go ahead and take questions. Why not? And we've never done a Minox Nest live. Matt and crew, if you had to pick one Star Wars episode 1 through 6, which one would be your favorite and why?
Let's
go for it.
I mean, mine's pretty basic. 5, largely because I think it did the best with suspense and twists.
Same for me. 5. It was the darkest one out of the series, the original.
For me, it's going to be Return of the Jedi, obviously, because I love 6. I also, Sam, I won't lie. I think Empire's great, but I won't lie. That is one that I vividly remember as a kid watching 3 times in theaters, and it was just a big deal for me. It was a big deal for me.
Hey, Matt, speaking of Ewoks.
Yes.
You got him back there?
He's always here.
Yes!
Yub Nub.
Yub Nub.
That's the real reason why 6 is his favorite.
Taking a time out. He's taking a time out for the Legacy comp books. He's going to be there with me at the end. But I thought EUD2 could get some time. But for right now, he's taking some time off. He may be back for the Legacy 2 comic books, or he just may be at the end. Obviously, this is my Chewbacca. This is my co-pilot, and I gotta have him. But EUD2 needed some time, so I gave EUD2 the time. Plus, it's kind of no one cares, but as Cade Skywalker has R2D2, I thought it'd be fun if I had EUD2 with me in those. So Star Wars Detours is on Disney Plus, I hear, or whatever. That was something that got canceled. I didn't even know they had episodes created because I was not interested in that series. Have y'all seen Detours?
Nah.
I thought Detours was like some sort of thing at
like
Disneyland.
It's like a that's Star Tours.
Star Tours, okay.
Detours was a parody series that was going to be done by Seth Green.
Right. They said that's out.
Yeah, and originally in the old structure, it actually got its own level of canon, D-canon.
Okay, D-canon?
Yeah.
Detours? Did it really?
Yeah, basically it was sort
Never
of like in canon, but Detours was going to have its own internal consistency, so it kind of had to have something separate from in canon.
That's insane. All right, I'll have to let these guys answer because I never watched it. Mandalorian, what did you guys think of it?
I've only gotten like into the 3rd episode, but I liked it from what I've seen. Don't really want to admit that. But
no, that's fine. My buddy loves it, but you know what? He did say before the whole thing with Gina Carano came on. He said one of his favorite characters on the show was Gina Carano, hands down.
Oh yeah, Cara Dune is excellent.
That's what and this was during the first. This is before anything happened. This is during the first season. He said she was great. He said she's a great character. So he really liked Cara Dune. He was very upset. I don't know if he's going to still watch it anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm probably pretty much done with Mandalorian. Like anything they do with Mandalorian.
How far did you make it? Just to answer his question, how far did you make it?
Oh, I
was 3 episodes in.
I finished.
Yeah.
I finished season 1.
Lately, I've been watching the more. I've been into more Marvel stuff than Star Wars.
I will say I really like what they did with Cara Dune, like what they revealed about her in the season 1 finale.
Oh, okay. I never saw it myself, so I can't really speak to it. I don't, Jack. I don't really watch the new canon or read the new canon, and this is what interested me. This is what Star Wars was. In fact, this was what Star Wars was more than the movies to me. And when Disney bought them out and Lucasfilm says, hey, we're going to get rid of all this, I thought, okay, well, this is why I love Star Wars, so I think I'm done. And I remember telling Bruce, my buddy, that, and he said, oh, really? I said, yeah, I don't think I'm going to get it anymore. And everyone back in the day called me a liar. You're going to see episode 7. You know you are. And to this day, I still haven't seen it, and I don't hear the haters on my channel anymore.
Well, it's funny because they stopped being interested in the movies too.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't even bother. Episode 7 basically became a legacy of the Force ripoff.
And like it rehashed the original trilogy like so hard.
All right, we got 2. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just didn't like that.
Okay, we got 2 questions here. First one, whoops, hit the wrong one. Which one is your favorite MCU movie or film? Probably for me, it was the first Avengers.
So far, I haven't watched like all the movies, but I've watched a decent amount. I'd say I love Thor Ragnarok.
That was fun. That's a fun one.
That's a really good one.
Daniel?
I'm going to probably be an odd man out here and say Ant-Man.
Oh, that one's a good one too.
Ant-Man?
Yeah, I'm a sucker for a good heist.
Oh, it's. To be honest, Ant-Man has one of the best scenes in the movie when he's about to get hit by the toy train, and then it backs away to the room, and the toy train just hits over and rolls over and falls on its side. Like that was the action. I really think that's probably the best the funniest scene in any Marvel movie has got to be from that Ant-Man, because you think there's going to be this big train wreck. and just the toy train just goes off the track.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was hilarious.
My brother and I laughed so hard at that, and he said that does it, man. He said this is great. I said this is awesome. I think I loved that part of the movie. I loved the whole movie. I thought it was good. I thought the sequel wasn't as good. I wished it would have been better.
Got better with the action. Like they got way better with the effects.
It was good in some cases, but it wasn't as good as the first one.
Yeah, I will say, Matt, from what I've seen, and Tristan, I'm not sure what you think, but Favreau does seem to have an okay grasp on the EU and what the lore was supposed to be, you know?
Yeah, I agree. He actually did well with like the whole, Mandalorian culture and all of that type of stuff. Like he really did his homework on it.
Let me just comment on Jon Favreau. He seems to be a good guy. He knows there's EU fans out there. He keeps borrowing from the EU to make them happy, to get them interested. I hear the feel is there for EU fans. He's trying to bring it back to that original Star Wars feel. And that's all fine and good. That's all fine and good. But that's not what we want as EU fans, or a lot of us don't want. I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm glad he's bringing out a quality show that people can enjoy. But I'm just saying what we want is more Legends. I mean, go ahead and just go off the rails and say Mandalorian's Legends, you guys. Go ahead. Why not bring it into that world?
I'd love it if they went out and flat out said, yeah, Mandalorian is a Legends show. Yeah,
so don't worry about everyone panicking about Luke Skywalker being there. It's like, no, don't worry. It's Legends. Okay, so I think Tristan, did you come up with Monarch's Nest?
Daniel came up with the name, but
Daniel
I started
came up with the name. Okay,
podcast.
so both of y'all answer that one.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember, I was like, I was thinking about doing a podcast. I wasn't really even that big into like listening to them, but I was just like, I got all these thoughts and opinions, and then I think it'd be fun to have the conversation because I think we were just like kind of kicking it in Skype before we actually like started doing the podcast. So I was like, yeah, let's just start up a podcast, and then
It's funny because back when YouTube had their own little streaming thing, I do YouTube, and then there was an after party on Skype. And if you were friends with me on Skype, you got invited to what I call the after party stream, where we would just sit there and just talk on the Skype forever.
I mean, I could go all Kennedy and say Monarch's Nest was always my vision, but
oh, that's great. Probably. Oh, you know what? Edward's still around. I forgot about him. We had him on a few times.
How's Edward been doing? I haven't heard from him.
He's still around. I see him on Professor Geek's channel from time to time, but I haven't spoken to him lately.
He disappeared on Facebook recently. I didn't know he was still active. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
look at that. Partially in Spurs Imperial and Chris. Oh, look at that.
Oh, awesome.
Big Mike's. You see, we have someone in here who knows Minox. I told him, I said, now guys, they may not know Minox, but go easy on them. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I remember we were doing a podcast, and right as we were signing off, it ends with Edward just yelling out, "Oh my gosh, you guys, Robin Williams just died," because we did the episode when the news had hit, and that's when we ended the episode.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if y'all remember that, but it was right when the news broke that Robin Williams passed away, and that was right when we were wrapping up. And I remember where I was. I was at the beach house, and I came in real quick to do a podcast with you guys before I went back out on the beach. But I was like, "What is he talking?" I thought he was just being, Edward. I thought, oh, whatever. And then when we got back from the beach, they go, "Hey, did you hear Robin Williams died?" I went, "Yeah, I did." They said, "How'd you know that? It's news here." I said, "No, I just did a podcast and someone said that." So, wow, look at this.
I actually started, I think, junior year in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. 17. Dang, wow. It's crazy how long of a time ago it was. I actually turned 24 today.
Wow. What?
Yeah, today's my birthday.
I turned 30 a few days ago, so I'm
You're not 30. Are you really?
No way, dude.
Yep.
No, you're not. You're lying.
Yep. 30 years old.
I don't believe that at all.
I mean, I also didn't believe that you were like in your late 30s whenever I met you.
Oh,
Yeah.
me? Yeah.
Yeah. I really thought you was like 20, 29 or something. I didn't think.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I'm pretty sure Tim was the oldest of us, though. He had grandkids.
Well,
Yeah,
Tim
he
didn't have
is.
grandkids, but he was my age back then. So he was a couple of years younger. Yeah, I mean older than me. But yeah, we didn't look our age except for Tristan. Dan, I think you're lying. But anyway, seriously, I thought you were Tristan's age. But Tristan, I do believe. It's funny because Tristan came through my town, and I tried to. I guess he was on the road, and I was texting. I was like, well, I guess he's not coming. So then me and my wife went on because it was New Year's Day. You said you're coming by, and I said, well, I guess he's not coming. My wife goes, well, do you want to go? Because every New Year's we used to do a little tradition where we travel. It was about an hour down south, Louisiana, and we just kick around, go to a few antique stores or whatnot, and then we go. There's her favorite buffet place was still open down there, and so we'd go down there, make a day of it, and come back. And while we're eating buffet, Tristan calls me. He's like, hey, man, I'm rolling into your town right now. I was like, dude, there's no way. We just sat down to eat. It's going to be an hour here. It's going to be an hour for me to get back. I said, oh, and you're like, yeah, man, I got to keep going. I was like, oh.
Yeah, because I had to go. I was going from A school to Maryland, my first duty station. But, actually, we can talk about it later. But I'm planning on doing a road trip after I get out.
Oh,
I can swing by.
Trip.
Hey, if you're coming, let me know.
Where are you at?
Should I really say on the show or
You can put it in the private chat.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, whatever you're comfortable with.
If you click it on private chat, you can tell it in the private chat. You see in the private chat where Tristan's talking about what he's not wearing right now, which is kind of disturbing. I don't know why he put that in the private chat. I'm kidding, folks. This is back in the day. Are you going through there?
Because I'm gonna be going from like Texas to the East Coast. I'm trying to figure it out right now, but I might be getting a job in DC. I wanted to move to Florida, but we'll see what happens.
Are you old enough to live in Florida?
I'm 24, bro.
No, he's talking about retirement people.
Oh, yeah.
He's making a joke.
Oh, yeah, I forget that.
Yeah, Florida's really nice. Florida's nice. I wouldn't go to DC. That's just me.
I don't want to, but
you'd be stationed out there?
No, well, I'm getting out, but there's a job that offers like $100K a year with my skill set. So that's why I'm considering it.
Oh, I don't blame you. That's not bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just don't really like DC. For living, for visiting, I mean, it's cool.
Yeah. Do you guys keep up with the Kenobi news show? I don't.
I have not. No.
I know it's in development. That's it. And Hayden Christensen's coming back.
Wait,
but,
I thought it was McGregor was coming back.
He is too.
Yeah.
Florida man.
Hey, Lance, I just got the news today from my work that I am not going back to work this year, which means 12 more months. I'm not cutting my hair until I get to go back. There's no way I'd be allowed to grow up my hair like that. I mean, I guess now, but I don't think I wouldn't want my hair like this if I was at work. I want to look professional. Not that this makes me look unprofessional, but yeah, I get to grow it out for another year in the meeting. I was a little ticked off, even though I
just got a very slight trim.
The news is I'm one of very few from my department who is going back to the office. I'm one of very few, and because I've demanded it. But I told them I'm not cutting my hair. They don't care because everything's virtual. But but you know, I will cut it when I go back. I will. I'm going to show everyone because a lot of people have heard I've grown it out. My wife posted a picture on her Facebook page, and some people who are friends with my wife are like, "Who is that? Is that Matt?" And some people were calling me or pinging me at work and going, "Dude, I hear your hair is long." I said, "Yeah." Also, I'm in a commercial with my hair long right now. So anyone who's seen that commercial is going, "That's Matt," because they can't believe my hair's gone this long. But it's going to grow for another year until I go back.
I gotta say, I'd love to get a commercial gig.
I'm
do
telling you.
Anakin Skywalker cosplay.
Supposedly, someone told me today that on their phone, another commercial idea, which I didn't know because I don't see it on TV, but it's going out on people's phone. You know, they play the game. There's a commercial going on. My commercial's playing. It only has to be regional though, because that particular company is only in 3 states, I think. So well, 2 or 3 states, but it's only regional. It's got to be regional. But someone says, "I see you every day on my phone." I said, "What should I play this game?" And you know, commercials pop up, and like every 3rd or 4th commercial, you pop up. And I was like, "Really?" I said, "Which one is it?" It's one I filmed a while back, but I've never seen because I said, "Oh, I guess it doesn't." You know, I don't watch live TV that much, but I have seen going to the gym. I'll see my commercial I filmed a few months ago go up, but there's another one.
I find it somewhat ironic that you did that commercial, given what your weak spot in the lore is.
Which commercial?
The game commercial.
Oh well, the game is it's not about a game. It's for it's for a I think it's for a 24-hour clinic. There are these 24-hour clinics you can go with when you're sick or whatever, and you call ahead, schedule your appointment, and go and they're open 24/7, and it was for them, and they play it during they bought the advertisement on apps. They paid for to be on some of those apps. So, it's smart because I guess if you're not feeling well, you're just going to sit there and play a game. But then you realize, oh, wait, I can go see a doctor right now because there's always a clinic open. It's this 24-hour clinic. It's funny because these guys they paid so much attention to detail. I filmed the whole commercial with my wedding ring on, and I totally forgot to take it off. And when we were doing the last shot, he went, "Well, hold on." He said, "Matt, have you had your ring on the whole time?" And I went, "Yes." I went, "Oh!" And we had filmed every scene, but me in the bed being sick, watching the TV, and then the commercial playing. With me saying, "Oh, I can call today," and he goes, "We got to get you a wife." So the lady whose house we're filming in, she had to double.
I'm pretty sure that ship already sailed.
Yeah. She had to be my wife, so she's not an actress, but all she had to do was, she had her back to me, and she's kind of asleep, and I'm sitting there with, blowing my nose and checking the channels, but she's over in the side there, and it was funny because we're setting this up. Okay, I haven't told this story yet, so we're setting this up, and I told her we were talking while they're setting up the camera and the lighting and everything. She said, "Oh, so blah blah blah." I said, "Do you have any kids?" She said, "Yeah, I have 2 twin boys." I said, "Shut up. I got twin girls." She's like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, they're little ones." She went, "Oh, mine are grown. They're both seniors in high school now." I was like, "Oh, shut up. That's awesome." Well, anyway, so we're about to film this commercial, and then the twins come home. and they said,
your
they walk into the room. They go, "Hey, Mom, what's going on?" And I was like, "I can explain." They knew the camera crew was coming there for a commercial, but I thought it was funny.
Your twins are seniors in high school? How long has it been?
Her twins.
I was about to say.
Mine will be.
They grow up fast.
Mine will be 2 toward the end of the month. But yeah, that was pretty funny because we all started laughing when they came in. I was like, "I can explain, kids." It was fun. That was a fun one to shoot. The other one, there's 3 commercials. One is playing in Mississippi, but if anyone sees that one, know this: I am freezing in that commercial. We filmed that right before the southern ice storm came. I mean, the day before. I could not feel my fingers after like 30, 45 minutes of shooting. I could not feel I said, can we go inside for me? He's like, yeah, I'm cold too. And I said, thank you. In fact, the commercial called for me to have a work vest on, just a long sleeve shirt. But he had me film in my coat because it was just so friggin' cold. And it was funny because we were trying to figure out, we're showing steps on how to do this one thing. And I remember we sat inside, I was like, man, I said, we were trying to read the instructions to understand how to do it. And I said, there really needs to be a training video on this. And he looked at me, he went, that's what we're filming. I went, oh.
That's awkward.
Well, forgot. But the same guy who filmed that commercial, that was in Jackson. I'm in commercials every other year because they can't film the same guy hawking different products from, within the same year, which makes sense.
Unless you're Billy Mays.
Unless you're, yeah, unless you're someone popular. But they can't have the same local guy in every commercial. So they use me sparingly. They'll use me this year, and I won't be doing anything until maybe next year.
Matt's going to be the Allstate guy eventually.
Yeah. No, I wasn't. I was the insurance salesman. No, the insurance guy, because in the other commercial, the girl gets in a wreck, and she goes, oh, and then I appear like a genie. I'm like, hello, I'm your insurance agent. And I'm there to give her the least amount of money possible, because I'm the bad guy in it. Well, then she goes, I'm calling, it's these lawyers. You need to call them. If, they'll get the money you deserve. You get in a wreck. And I went, oh no, not again. And I look up and a house falls on top of me. You're like, what? The lawyer's last name is House.
Oh.
And so then he comes out of the front door and brushes off his jacket and say, don't let the insurance people, take you for a ride. Call something today. Call House and Associates today. It's funny because someone said they saw me and said, oh, Matt's there to save the day. And they went, oh, Matt's the bad guy. But yeah, that was fun. Commercials, there's a lot of fun. I played for my Chris's, for Yub Nub's Chris's holiday special. I actually played a few of those commercials. I want to do more. It's just that these guys don't post them. They don't give me copies of them anymore. They say they will, but then they forget. And I don't want to hassle them for it. But I've done a few here and there. I had to turn one down this year because it was in conflict of interest to my actual job, because I can do these as long as they don't conflict with the job I have. And so one was conflict of interest. It wasn't bad. It was just conflict of interest. I couldn't do it. So in the other one, a few of y'all would have seen me. And I was going to be pretty regional for a little bit, like on a few commercials and then do some billboards. And I was like, oh, I can't be the spokesperson for anyone. I can do a one-shot commercial.
Well, we know you have experience doing billboards.
So, yeah, I thought of that. Yeah, but I'll have delusions of grandeur. I'm not going to. Oh, I got called to do a Duck Dynasty reshoot, to come in and be one of the background people. Because they did have to reshoot. If they missed some shots that they needed post-production, they'd go back wherever they were and kind of reshoot it with fake people there if they needed a crowd. And so they called me to ask me if I want to do it. It's like, no. I said, but I got two buddies who'd love to be on Duck Dynasty. And it's funny because they're supposed to be in Las Vegas. They filmed the episode in Las Vegas, but when they came back, they were missing some footage of them in the crowd reacting to the show. So they put them in the local play theater here, got the lights just where you can't tell they're not in Vegas. But I know because there's two of my buddies sitting right behind them going, and like talking. I was like, whatever. They never would be in Vegas. Oh, that was funny. Oh, look at this guy. Iron commercial guy. There you go. All right, so
that's doing big things.
This is, by the way, if you never listen to My Accents, but this is how it always went. It always went off the rails. We never addressed the topics that we thought we were going to do. So this is perfect. But I will ask you this. I will ask you this question here. For for the future of Lucas, as you see, Lucasfilm has not been treating their fans very well. A lot of employees openly mock fans on social media.
And the ones that actually defend us get fired.
Yeah. So why do you think this president is out there to say, fans, we don't care what you think? And on top of that, no one's getting in trouble for making fun of fans either. It's like they almost encourage you to mock fans and to not give fans what they want. And if they say they like something that you don't like, you can make fun of them.
Except when Kennedy needed a scapegoat for why they fired Gina Carano the way they did. It's like, well, the fans were already complaining about it, and we have to.
Well, I like that when fans have a different opinion of them that they don't agree with, what they do, their playbook says, what do we do here? Oh, label them toxic and then say that's why we ignore them. I see that method used a lot. Like, I really don't want to listen to you.
I honestly,
so I'm going to call you toxic, and that way it's okay. I'll pretend that justifies my reason for not listening to you.
I honestly remember a lot of that even starting with Lucasfilm. Like, I think Chuck Wendig was a pioneer in that.
Well, yeah.
He was one of the first.
Oh, Chuck. And anything he said about me is fair game because I made fun of him first. So, and I wasn't upset by that. I was shocked that James S.A. Corey said something.
I think Chuck Wendig directly interacted with Tim, didn't he? Oh, sorry.
What? No, go ahead.
I think Chuck Wendig and Tim directly interacted with each other on Twitter.
No, probably so. Chuck Wendig interacted with anyone. If you were just a small person who had one follower, he'd react to you like you were some big thing. This man had nothing better to do than scream at people on social media. It was weird.
Yeah, that was the last because I don't really track Star Wars as much as I used to back in the day. Even though I talk about it like almost every episode on my new podcast. But
yeah, it's really not just Lucasfilm. It's become a whole thing where it's just acceptable for companies and publishers to outright antagonize and mock their fan bases.
Yeah, pretty much. They always do that.
Yeah. So it's been weird. And it's kind of funny because our interests have grown in different areas now. Just like y'all said, you're reading different stuff now. You're doing different things. You're picking up different hobbies. You still love Star Wars, but it's changed. And I'll be honest, it's changed a lot for me because obviously I found board games. And so that's one thing that I've been really enjoying. And the thing is, I never would have gotten into that or never would have reread probably my entire other collection in time. I'm reading different books now and everything because Expanded Universe isn't going on anymore. So guess what? They don't get my money. So who wants my money? Oh, you do? Okay, fine. You can have it. Lucasfilm doesn't act like they want my money. They don't. And I mean, it's their decision, I guess. But at the same time, they don't want it. Okay, fine. I'll spend it elsewhere. And I've noticed a lot of fans like that who are big fans of this and nothing else. They've gone on to other things too, which is not a bad thing. I understand, but that's just how, kind of life goes. If something you love they're not making anything new of it, fine. But I guarantee you this, if a Legends-esque book that continued this story came out, I'd be the first in line. I don't care if it has the Legends banner or not. If it's new content for this story, I'm for it.
Yeah.
I have never met either one of those people, and I'd love to meet both of them.
I enjoyed Revan. Drew Karpyshyn wrote Revan, right?
Yeah, Karpyshyn did most of the Old Republic.
And the Darth Bane. He did Darth Bane trilogy too, but and Revan was good. But I enjoyed Malgus the most out of those Old Republic books.
But yeah, I have also met both Karpyshyn. I have met both Karpyshyn and Lucino at Celebration 5.
Oh wow!
I have my signed copy of Revan and my signed copy of Plagueis to prove it.
Wow, that's nice. I wish, Gungan, those are probably two of my top tiers that I have not met that I'd like to. I'll tell you a few others are a lot of the Bantam authors. Kathy Tyers would definitely, I really want to talk to Kathy Tyers. I think she is so unique because, like I said in all my reviews, her books won't be your favorite, but bravo for her for not following in and taking the easy win, going a different direction, trying something different. And that's what she did a lot. And that's why I really want to talk to her. I'd also like to see Roger McBride Allen from the Carillion trilogy. And
I have fond memories of the Carillion trilogy. That was probably my first, my version, Matt, of your experience of your first experience with the Jedi Academy trilogy.
Oh, my experience. Oh, goodness gracious. I absolutely loved it. I was just thrilled. It's one of my favorites.
Because I had previously read The Paradise Snare, and they said they were describing this guy who looks very much like Han Solo. I was like, no, they're not doing.
Yeah, Ann Crispin, if she was still alive, I'd love to have met her. I'll be honest, even Vonda M. McIntyre, she passed away, what was a year ago or 2 years ago? I would have enjoyed to get her autograph too. I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, you look at Christine Catherine Rush. I'd like to get her autograph. Barbara Hamley teaches at a college in South California. I can't remember what the name of it is, but someone who used to watch my channel said, yeah, she's my teacher in one of my classes. Like, shut up. Barbara Hamley? He said, yeah. I was like, wow. So a lot of these old school, and of course, Aaron Alston. I didn't get to meet Aaron Alston.
Oh, I loved his X-Wing books.
His X-Wing books. And it's hard to come in after Stackpole and give us quality. And Aaron Alston did that so much so that Aaron Alston stuff, in my opinion, is right up there with Stackpole.
Me personally, I liked Alston's actually better than Stackpole's.
That's fair. That's fair. Because I can see that.
I met Alston first at StellarCon 30.
Oh, wow.
And a few later StellarCons. And then the last time at Celebration 5.
I liked Stackpole's Del Rey stuff. I wasn't too big into his Bantam stuff. Because like a lot of the old authors that moved from or had both in Bantam and Del Rey, I always preferred their Del Rey books. I don't know, Bantam books are just too slow for me personally.
Well, my transition was basically from Young Jedi Knights to iJedi. So that was my transition from young reader to,
Yeah.
Wow, nice. Tristan, you mentioned that you have a podcast now. Would you like to plug it?
Oh, yeah. So I started this new podcast, Lethal Nonsense. It's a little bit more of a general podcast. Well, I'm trying to. Most of the time, like as of late, we've mostly been talking about gaming news, but there was a lot that wasn't happening. I actually haven't uploaded in like a month. But
if you need any backup, I'd be glad to join.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah, I'd love to get some of you guys on there. We can talk about Star Wars, and we can have Lanson on the podcast as well. So,
all right, there you go.
It can be a great time.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up here because we usually wrap it up about an hour. I want to thank both of my guests for coming on, guys. This has been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we could get together and do this.
It was so great to be back. We should do this more often.
I know. And folks, if you don't know, this is how regular Minox Nest went. We started off with a plan, and then we just went everywhere.
Yeah,
life happened.
And I love it. I love it. I love it because afterwards, Tim would be like, "You didn't talk about this. You didn't talk about this." And it was no who kept telling Edward to shut up the whole time. Was it you, Tristan?
I think it may have been.
It had to be Tristan.
I can't remember,
him
but
too.
I don't know. But it was all sorts of fun mayhem. Folks, hey, Monday is a different stream with a different type of guest. I've never streamed with this person before. I'm so excited that they agreed. They're going to be on this Monday. You don't want to miss. It's going to be so stinking fun. I'm super excited about this. My last invitation for my 6K substream went out today. So I don't expect to hear back from him until maybe next week, but I'm trying to get that one on for next week as well. And then the second to the last one I sent out, I usually give a week before I give up. It hasn't yet been a week, but if I haven't heard back from them over this weekend, I'm thinking that person is going to turn me down, which is sad, but understandable, because that was kind of even though he has a very small YouTube channel, he has a big name.
Hey,
And-
Michael, I remember you, Michael King.
Oh, you know Michael. There you go. So, anyway, Michael's been watching me for a long time. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being on here, guys. Thank you so much. And I will see you again. Well, there's Saturday morning Sam Flange tomorrow. And then you'll have to check me out because it's Prince of the Universe that day. And then live that evening on Monday, we're going to have our special